Hey everybody, my name is Katie Morton and I'm a licensed therapist creating educational mental health content online. And we all know, as a therapist, as a regular person, how stressful life can be. But being launched into the spotlight at a very young age can add even more pressure. Which is why today we are going to chat with Lele Pons and Paris Hilton about well-being, what it's like to balance the stress of fame with everyday life, and of course, tips for managing burnout as a creator in today's world. And first, I'd like to introduce you to Lele Pons. She is a multi-talented entertainer, famous for her Instagram and YouTube content, creating videos for more than 41 million Instagram followers and 60 million YouTube subscribers. Her debut single, Celoso, is certified 3 times platinum, and she has over 300 million views on YouTube. She is continuing to work on her new music for upcoming debut album set to arrive later this year, so stay tuned for that. But Lele recently released a 5-part series called The Secret Life of Lele on her YouTube channel, and she's sharing her lifelong struggle with Tourette's syndrome and OCD. Viewers get to follow along on her journey of building and expanding her music career while dealing with both of those issues. All episodes for The Secret Life of Lele Pons are available to watch for free now on her YouTube channel. But let's check out that trailer first.
People think that I have the perfect life, sometimes because of like social media, you show that you do. But no, I don't have a perfect life. I just have to do it one more time.
Don't do it. Hold on to it. You can. We're gonna do it together.
One more time.
I know, no. You can do it. Hang in there. It's gonna go away.
My deepest, darkest secret is that I have OCD.
When I first met Lele, she came in as an emergency situation.
I just had to touch everything. And if I didn't touch everything, I thought my family was gonna die.
She couldn't really function.
My OCD is very powerful thoughts that make me do stuff that I don't wanna do. It got to a point that I could not move. My mind and my body shuts down because of my OCD.
It's a struggle that is 24 hours a day. She's incapable of taking care of herself at times. But then she's capable of taking care of complex things in ways that takes no effort.
It's really interesting that a person can be completely dysfunctional and yet they can be incredibly productive artistically or professionally.
You can't really create cultural impact without being a little bit off-center. That space off-center is where you find the good ones. But when you create and you put it out there, you become vulnerable.
I have really serious concerns about the fact that this ended up being too much for her. Do you want to take a break? Okay.
Wow, what a powerful docu-series. Thank you so much, Lele, for sharing that part of yourself. And like I said, we're also going to be talking to Paris Hilton. And if you don't know, she is one of today's most recognizable figures, known around the world as a businesswoman, an entrepreneur, as a DJ, designer, recording artist, host, actress, model, and author. Hilton has built a global empire and continues to expand her brand. And on September 14th, check out her YouTube Originals documentary, This is Paris, where she speaks publicly for the very first time about heartbreaking trauma and pivotal moments in her early life that forged who she is today. So let's take a look at that trailer.
All right, go back, do it again, real walk.
What do you mean I'm not on a runway?
I feel like the whole world thinks they know me.
That's hot. That's hot.
Sorry, I'm so used to playing a character that it's hard for me to be normal.
No one really knows who I am.
I'm always putting on this facade or just happy and perfect life.
Have fun.
And you happy? Sometimes.
They say trauma. The mind may forget, but the body never forgets.
What's up, Belgium?
And it's trapped in you. And it can come out whenever.
Stop!
I don't even know who I am sometimes. I didn't used to be that way.
Something happened in my childhood that I've never talked about with anyone.
I just heard screaming, bloody murder.
But I couldn't tell you guys because every time I tried, I would get punished by them. I still have nightmares about it.
Here we are at Paris and school.
And the only thing that saved my sanity was thinking about who I wanted to become when I got out of there.
Just created this brand and this persona and this character, and I've been stuck with her ever since.
Is that enough?
No.
Thank you, Paris and Lele, for being here with me. And I just cannot wait to watch that. I'm really excited to check that out. The subject matter of both of your YouTube originals is very personal and super intimate. Why do you think it's important for you to show that side of yourself to your fans?
Sorry, I'm like literally like after watching your trailer and then mine, it's just like I have tears in my eyes and I'm hoping like my eyelashes aren't gonna fall off.
I know.
Sorry, that was a lot. And I watched what you did, by the way, Lele, and I was just blown away by your courage of you telling your story and like just being so brave. And I commend you for that.
Thank you.
And I think I just think both of us,
Thank you so much.
like I'm speaking for myself, but I think the same maybe that you feel too, that we want people to know that it's okay. And you know, on social media, of course, all of us are trying to portray this perfect life and everything's so happy, and you don't really want to talk about private things or things that have hurt you or negative things in life. But I think it is important because it empowers other people to share their truth and not feel alone and know it's okay. We're all human. We all go through things, and to come forward with it will make you start. It's empowering to tell your truth and your story.
Yeah. Well, I thank you so much. I can't wait to see your series, seriously, because you know how much I love you, and you know, okay, yes, we have fun and everything, but me and Paris, when we get together, like after having fun, yes, like we get to talk about real stuff, you know, and then like so much that like I even like went to like I cried. Remember when I cried when I saw you so happy in this one party? I was like, I'm so happy that you're happy. Like I'm crying. Everybody's like, are you okay? And I was like, no, I'm more than okay. You know, because like you deserve so much, and I know that you go through so much personally. You know, like and you do portray like this person that has an amazing life, but you know, getting to know you more and more, I'm just like, you're literally like a sister. Yeah, like you are so humble, and you're going through the same thing that many people are going through, and this is going to be such a shock, and people are not, as you said, people are not going to feel alone at all. And when I saw this, I was like, this is brilliant. This is what they say in the thing, genius. and I'm so happy, and this is the unfiltered version of us too, and I'm so grateful that I'm doing it with you. I don't get along
I
with
love you
that many
so
people.
much. And ever since the moment we met, we completely bonded. And like, I just feel like you're my little sister, and I am just so proud of you. And you're just such an incredible friend. And I don't trust really anyone, but ever since the moment we met, we just had this like connection. And like, even after watching your series, I was like, oh my God, like, I feel you so much. I love you, sis. I miss you.
I miss you so much, Paris. Like when people talk to me, I was like, "Do you know Paris?" And I was like, "Do I know Paris? You don't know Paris. I know Paris. Like she's me. I'm her. And you know what? You're not. I'm not your little sister. I'm like your big sister because you look so
cute.
Kind of insane. Kind of insane.
Love it. I love you, Mom.
And I think it's great. I love that you guys are being brave and sharing your stories, because the thing I hear from my audience the most is wanting to know that it's not just them. So I think this is really powerful for people to know they're not alone in their struggles and what they've been through. And Lele, in your docu-series, you opened up about your struggles, particularly with OCD. Let's watch a clip really quick from the show where you touch on that.
As an 11-year-old female who was diagnosed with OCD, Tourette's syndrome, attention deficit disorder, and ADHD.
When I first met Lele, she came in as an emergency situation because she got stuck in a car. She was stuck turning on and off faucets.
The shower still today. I have to turn off the sink 3 times.
She couldn't really function, and they were struggling to get her to school, eat, sleep, do any of the basic activities that she needed to do.
When you have like a condition that controls you most of the time, you wish you didn't have that.
I know, but you embarrass the videos, huh? Go sit down. Don't move. Stay. Hold on. We're gonna do it. I try to relax the hand and don't push the toe. You're doing a good job. See how the toe wants to curl? Relax the toes. There you go. Just hang in there for a second.
I just have to do it one more time.
Don't do it.
Because I did it 2 times and then 3. Just one more time.
No, hold on to it. You can. We're gonna do it together.
One more time.
I know, no. You can do it. Hang in there. It's gonna go away, the feeling.
I don't know who that girl is. Well, obviously it's me. It got really bad, and I don't want it to get like that anymore.
No moving. Yeah. No.
1 second.
No. Let it go. I know. Don't. No. Don't. Let it go. You could do it. Usually I don't prompt someone so many times. That's not a protocol. But at that moment, you need to do anything to get them to even start. Now what do you feel?
It's mostly this. It's always this side.
Lele was having such a hard time. She was engaging in everything that she felt like OCD was giving to her, all the feelings. She needed to get rid of the feelings, right? And our job in the therapy is the opposite, not to get rid of the feeling, to have that feeling, tolerate that feeling until that feeling becomes less and less and less.
Wow, so powerful. Do you find it cathartic to be open about your personal issues in your work and share that with the world? Because I know how uncomfortable OCD and the treatment can be, like fighting those urges to do the compulsions is really difficult.
Yeah.
Was that helpful? Yeah, for you to share it?
To do that was helpful. You know, it was helpful. It was about time because, you know, it got to a point that people were realizing it, but I was not going to tell them because it's so hard for me to describe, this is why I do this or this is why I do that. So doing this, I was shocked with the response, which was like so many people came up to me and they told me their stories, which is something I want. And, you know, many people have it, right? And I'm not saying that I have it worse or not, but what I do have is the power to actually educate. And that's why I wanted to do this, because if I have a platform, you know, and I can do something with it or educate people or make people aware or maybe help others who don't even know that they have something like this, that's for me the best thing. Like I said, I help one person. If I help one person with this documentary, I'm good. I won. I don't care. I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
And it did. It helped many people, and that's it. I'm grateful for that. And you know, people are like, "Oh, you're gonna do a second series," and I was like, "No, this is it. You know, it's not a show. It's this is more of like showing what we go through, and that what I have, many people might have, and how to get help. There's a link in my YouTube video as well after for people who want to get help."
Yeah, I love that. And both of you opened up in a way that you haven't really publicly done before. And I'm curious, you know, obviously there's going to be tons of media coverage about this. Do you both feel like you want to watch it all, or do you completely try to avoid it? Because I know that's always like kind of a tricky balance.
What happens with me is that I did this documentary, and after I put it out, that's my truth. You want to accept it, you can accept it. I'm not going to read the comments because it's my truth. Like if people are going to say that's not true, that's on them. That's, you know, I know my truth. Like you can't control what other people are going to say or what they're going to feel, but you can control you and yourself and if you're going to see comments or whatnot.
Yeah.
I agree completely with that. You know, doing this was so hard because I'd never have opened up in ways like this before or shown who I was. I honestly didn't even know who I was. But I know by me telling my truth, I've empowered so many others who have not only been abused as a child, but in relationships, for them to feel comfortable to come forward. So I've told my story, and I'm not going to let what has happened to me through other people define who I am as a person and my future. And with that, I don't like reading mean comments. I don't like letting negative energy into me. If someone wants to be like that and to be mean, then they are just a bad person, and that is because they feel bad about themselves. And I've learned, I used to, being in this industry so long, when I was a teenager, I used to cry myself to sleep every night and read every single thing and just be so depressed and so upset. And then after living through so much, my skin is so thick now, I'm so tough that I don't let it penetrate me. I don't let it live through me, because I can't base my life and care so much about other people. I think what's most important is how you feel about yourself. And after doing this film and really being real for the first time and showing who I am, I'm proud of how strong I am, of what I've been through. And if anyone wants to judge me and try to be evil and negative about it, then just screw them.
Yeah, I think it says more about the person doing it than it does about you, I've always thought that. It says more about the person making the nasty comment. And kind of shifting gears, talking a little bit about like work-life balance. How would each of you describe your work-life balance? Is there anything that you're trying to improve on by chance, or?
Like working while having, while going through this stuff, you mean?
Yeah, like processing and making time for yourself too. Like with coronavirus and everything happening, we need more of that.
Yeah. I think that being surrounded by people that really do push you to be better, and your team, I think that was, for me, what helps me the most. They know best. Sometimes when I'm in stress, they come and they tell me, hey, take a 30-second wiggle break, 1 second. Like they're there for me. Sometimes when we're like stressed out, we're going through a lot, we can't see stuff that they can because they're the outsiders, and they love you and trust you. So being surrounded by people like that is very important. Also, doing things that you love. Like if you like to watch old movies, go watch old movies, exercise, do a hobby, dance, things like that during quarantine that make you happy. That's for me is like what I've been doing.
Love it. How about you, Paris? Anything?
This has been, obviously the whole world has never experienced anything like this. I'm so used to just being on every second, being on a plane every other day in a different country, traveling over 250 days a year for like almost 2 decades. So this has actually been the first time in my life where I've had to forcibly pause, stay at home, really have that time to reflect on what matters, and just seeing what's important in life, and really only surrounding myself with people that care about me. And also, I just feel that I want to put more of my time into my personal life, because I've always put business first. And I didn't know who I was. I was so lost and just so alone. And now I'm in such an incredible relationship. I'm so happy. And the fact that we've had this time together, and I'm just remembering Lele on my birthday, which, right before the world shut down, right before the pandemic, I had my birthday party where everyone was there. I think that was the last hurrah of when I saw everyone. Everyone said, like, Paris, like that was literally the last night. And Lele and I were talking, and she literally cried to me and said, I'm so happy to see you so happy. And we even had this talk in Las Vegas as well during CES. And
yes,
like, literally,
I'm
and
so happy.
I'm just so happy now. And I feel like I've never been happy in my life. I've always just pretended to be, and I finally know who I am. And now just to be so open with the world is just I finally feel free.
Yeah, that's wonderful. And I know that for me, it's tricky sometimes balancing all the demands, right? People will always ask for things. Have any of you, are there boundaries, I guess, that you've set up for yourself, like learning to say no to some things and yes to others? Like one of my favorite quotes, I think it's Brené Brown said it. She's like, sometimes a really small no opens up the space for a big yes, like a relationship or, self-care stuff. How do you guys manage like boundaries that you have in business and life?
I try to do things that go with like my brand, like that I believe in. It comes easier for me if I do something that I really do love and it's authentic and people know that. I say a lot of no's, and I say one yes, and that's how I manage. And also I have my team helps me with that as well. I'm saying my team always because I really have no clue sometimes what I'm doing, and I'm not gonna say I do everything by myself because I don't, And I think that it's hard. It's hard because many people want so much from you guys, from you. Even like sometimes when like it's even sometimes your friends or someone that not that much, but and they ask you for a favor, it's so hard to say no. But sometimes you when it comes to like business, you negotiate, and that for me is the hardest one when it comes with like people that I know and friends that ask you stuff, and saying no to that. That's for me the hardest one. But I've learned how to do that, and it has saved me from doing a lot of things that I didn't want to do.
Yeah, that's great.
I feel you on that one. I hate saying no. I hate hurting people's feelings. I hate confrontation. Like I have such a big heart but people will take advantage of that. And when you always are saying yes and doing things that you don't want to do just because you're too scared to say no, I didn't even know the power of no. And it's so powerful to actually say, you know what? No, I'm not going to do that. Because, even like if something's like, yes, like it's like something nice for charity or like actually something that's positive. Of course, I always say yes. But there is, especially living in LA, there's just so many greedy people who just want to just take, and they have these intentions, like just users. And I can't anymore. I don't want to be around people like that. Life is too short.
Yeah, it's exhausting. Totally.
The thing I say yes to the most is when Paris hits me up to do something. Yes.
I love you.
Yeah.
I love that. So you, in particular, Paris, speaking of, you were talking about how busy you are and everything, constantly traveling. How many days a year did you say?
250 days a year.
Something days? That's crazy. And they captured some of that for your documentary. Let's take a look at the clip that shows Paris coping with her extremely busy schedule.
Wake refreshed, yeah. In my dreams. Never wake refreshed. So tired. So tiring. I'm just literally, my mind is going through what the upcoming months are, and it's non-stop. Travel all around the world, and I've seen nothing except hotel room, club, stores. I don't even know who I am sometimes.
Yeah, that's a lot, man. Traveling and just seeing hotels. I know personally, whenever I travel, people are like, "Oh, you've been to so many places," and I'm like, I legitimately saw the hotel and then the event that I went to, and that was it. And then I was back on a plane. Are there anything that you or Lele or Paris do you do to kind of help you deal with the stress, or ways that you make sure you're maintaining your mental health?
I can say, therapy for me, in my case, therapy, because my mental health has OCD and Tourette's, is exposure therapy. Taking my medicine that I've been taking that have been like regulating my moods. And I think that, stress, I do exercises a lot right now. And I like to talk so much on the phone with like my cousins and my friends, and I do Zoom calls just to keep myself going every day. I like to watch like my old like videos of like me having fun in parties. It just keeps me going. That's for sure. Because then it reminds me
I
of
love
like
it.
the good times. But
Yeah.
gives me less stress. I don't know. It's like, look, this is possible. It's gonna happen again.
Yes.
That for me.
Yeah. How about you, Paris? What do you do to take care of your mental health?
I talk with my boyfriend a lot about things. I don't trust therapists because of what I went through. That just has blocked me off from that. And yeah, being with my pets, my animals, making art, going in the studio, doing music,
Yeah.
cooking, I love. And like Lele just said, I love like looking through my phone and seeing, I've like literally like 400,000 photos and videos. I was actually just looking at videos and pictures of us last night from Ultra, from Halloween, from my birthday. Just like the memories we've had
Oh my
together
God.
are so amazing.
It's so amazing because I remember like Ultra for me was the best one. But even in your Halloween birthday party, I arrived like I was literally Paris' like sister. Like I arrived with this whole thing. People were like, this is not your party, Lele. I was like, I'm gonna go full on for this party, And it's I was like, what am I wearing? And going back to that, it's just first of all, I miss you so much, and you going back to those pictures, those videos, you value life so much more. Like you're just like that could be taken away from you so fast. And I know next time that I see you, Paris, or we get together, it's just gonna be a little bit different. It's gonna be like every word I'm gonna remember, every hug, I'm gonna hug you so hard, harder than before. And I think that's what keeps me going because I know it's gonna happen again. So I'm like preparing myself for that moment.
Yeah. And that connection is really important, especially now, right? Because we're definitely missing it. But for either of you, I'm just curious, was there ever a time, when you felt like being a celebrity was too much or you wanted to be removed from the spotlight, maybe take a break? A lot of people do that. Like, how'd you handle that?
Paris, do you want to go first?
Yeah, sometimes it gets very overwhelming. You basically, when you are in this industry, you give up all of your privacy. It's wherever you're in public. You always have to be on. You're always, and I'm so kind. I never have said no when people ask for a selfie. Like I always want everyone to feel so special. I'm so like that. But it does take a lot out of you because you never really have that private time. So like when I go to Disneyland, for example, like I'm a kid at heart, like I'm obsessed with like going on roller coasters and playing video games. So I love doing things like that. So if I go as Paris Hilton, it's basically like being Mickey Mouse, where I have to do meet and greets the entire time and I really can't have fun. So I love just like dressing up and like putting like a little like whatever wig, sunglasses, a hooded sweatshirt and just like being in disguise and disappearing. So I think during those moments, I love it. But of course, I'm appreciative of it. And I love that I could bring happiness to people. And I feel like God put me on this earth for a reason. And that was to bring like love and joy and smiles to people. But, sometimes you want a little just like me time. But I wouldn't give it up for anything because I love how much happiness I bring my fans, and I love the relationship we have.
I agree with that. If it wasn't for like my fans, I don't know actually where I would be, because I in 2018 I was really struggling with like my mental health, and then plus that I got obsessed with reading negative comments, and when you read so many negative comments, you're just like, I just wish I was invisible. I wish nobody knew me. I wish I was my own person. I wish I didn't have people who talk that bad about me or made me feel like that. And I think that's when you don't want to be a celebrity. You don't want to deal with any of this stuff. Or also when times when I'm too busy to be in like, let's say, family reunions, birthday parties for my that I have to go to, like with my family back in Miami. Like that's when I'm just like, I wish I wasn't like a celebrity, working. But but at the same time, I'm so grateful. And that's why I haven't stopped. That's why I haven't quit, because even though I feel bad, I'm more grateful than ungrateful. So, there are moments though that you just want to be like, I need a break. Like I can't do this anymore. But those moments are so quick and they leave. They're not there forever. That's for sure. They might be there for a little bit, but then you remember. What I do is I give myself a note of when I do feel good. And I'm like, listen, whatever you're feeling right now that you're sad, that will pass. That's always what I say. This moment will pass. So I read that and I'm just like, in a bad mood, I'm just like, okay, it will pass. I don't see it right now, but it'll pass. So
yeah, no, I love that. And you talk about this a little bit in your series that, like, as celebrities, I'm sure you deal with a lot of judgment and criticism. It can feel like it's constant. And you talked about this in your series with YouTube and got a little emotional. Let's take a quick look at that.
Yes, you know what? I am a very easy target. I've always been since I was a little girl. I've been a very, very easy target because I don't defend myself. And you can say, I'm not this, she's ugly, she is not funny, she is a Latina, she is this, she is that, because you know what, Lele Pons is not gonna, she's not gonna respond to you. You can literally throw rocks at her and she's not gonna say anything to you, because that's the way that I am. But it hurts. It hurts a lot. But I need to be strong because a lot of people are going through worse things than I am, and a lot of people love me, and a lot of people are my fans, and they look up to me because they're like, you're so strong, and you get hate, but you move forward. And I'm here being like, I need to set an example to these people that are suffering and are getting bullied, and I want to show them that it's okay, and I don't want to give up, even though I do.
Yeah, I love that, being strong for your fans and putting up those notes that it'll pass. Is there anything else that you kind of do to cope with that, with dealing with criticism?
You have to accept it. You know what? Experience. Because experience shows you that no matter how many criticism you get, what happens, nothing can affect you. You are the only person that can allow something to affect you. Like, your day is going to continue on the same way. So if you see a negative comment or you don't see it, the outcome is the same. Unless you see the negative comment, you're going to start crying, you go to the rest of your day like that. But I just stopped watching that, stopped watching the negative comments. They don't know me. You have to understand that you should be more concerned when a person that you love tells you stuff like, hey, you're doing this, you're doing that, because they do know you. And the other people don't, and they're probably going through so much. I would know. I when I would go to the ranch that I used to go, there's so many kids who have so much anger, which is okay though, and you never know. Those are the ones that are going through so much. So when someone says something like, I can't stand this or anything, I'm just like, I pray, whatever they're going through, I hope they resolve it, because this world is just, right now, it's going through a lot, and we have to be together. It's just a difficult time. And I think just what I do is I surround myself with so much positive energy, because those comments actually give you negative energy, and you feel that.
Yeah, totally. And Paris, you, from an early age, you've been in the spotlight. I mean, I remember it's been forever, it feels like. Let's watch a quick clip about the early days of your success and the intense paparazzi, where you couldn't go anywhere without someone following you. Yeah.
I feel like that was the height of everything.
Can I get a picture with you? Thank you. I love your phone. Thank you.
Paris really started that movement of having paparazzi follow your every move. I wouldn't be here today if it hadn't been for, number one, her starting off in the reality world and her introducing me to the world.
Paris, how are you today? Good. You look great. Kim, you look awesome.
I think the best advice that she ever could have given me was just watching her.
Even though it was so hectic and insane and just nonstop.
Hi.
I also loved the attention and the love, because I felt like that was love.
Yeah, and watching that, because it probably feels like ages ago, right? But also not that different. Do you think being, in the spotlight from that early of an age makes you better equipped to deal with it now and to manage maybe the hate or criticism you receive
Definitely.
online?
Just having to experience this for so long. I feel actually blessed and lucky that I became in this industry before there was social media, because I cannot imagine being a 13-year-old girl and having to live up to this pressure of being perfect and having people just dissect you and try to hurt your feelings and just caring about likes and like all of these things that didn't even exist back then. I don't know. I'm very well equipped because I've been through it all, and I've been burned, I've been hurt, I've basically went through the ringer. So, I'm very strong for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean,
The OG is strong.
The only thing that changed from that clip to now is the hair. Your hair.
So being famous now, being on social media, it means we have to be kind of mindful about the things that we post, right? I mean, we all can agree to that. Can you share a time, if you've had this, where fans or media misconstrued something you posted on socials, and like, how'd you handle that situation?
I remember the first time that ever happened to me was one time, I was just, let's say, dancing around for 4th of July, and in the back, the American flag fell, and some people just like thought that was like that was my fault. That was on purpose. I didn't mean that. It was in the back, So people just look at the one thing, and they're just like, she did that on purpose or something like that. So and that's something that Oh, and also when people are always looking at you and they're just like saying, oh, you see how she didn't hug that person or whatever. They don't know that before I was being filmed, I literally had a full-on conversation with that one person, but in camera, maybe I didn't say hi to them. So I think it just like people just make up stories sometimes. And what are you going to do?
Yeah, true.
It's great.
How about you, Paris? Have you ever had anybody do something like misconstrue a meaning or a photo or a video?
The times are countless. I could have like a 10-hour conversation about that. But yes, when you are in the spotlight, when you are putting yourself out there, people are going to want to dissect everything. And a lot of people, especially, in the media, they just want to invent their own story because that is what causes clicks. In my life, I've dedicated my life to doing charity work, so many nice things for people, but the media never wants to talk about the nice things. They only want to focus on scandals. They want to cause rifts between people. They're saying that I'm in feuds with people who I've never met in my life, or who literally we have no relationship whatsoever. They're like, they hate each other. It's just like, the things that have been said about me are so crazy that it's just unbelievable. But it's annoying that the public actually does believe things like that, because it's more exciting news, and people don't want to read nice things about people. So they're just going to invent something to get the clicks, to get people to buy the magazine, to get more ads. It's just, it's a very toxic world. So you have to have a very tough skin.
Yeah.
Yeah, people love the drama.
People love but they love the bad drama. They don't like the good one.
Yes.
Though. Like if you're having a baby, they're like, cool, whatever. But if I don't know, like, it's insane. I understand that. It's crazy.
I know, it's wild. Totally. So both of you have talked about how you're hoping that by sharing your stories publicly that it helps someone else. Like Lele, you said, if it helps one person, like it was all worth it. That's the goal. So for anybody who is up and coming or wanting to be a creator or put themselves out there, what are some of your top tips for them, from both of you? You have such great perspectives.
If someone's you mean like if someone's up and coming, or someone wants to be up and coming?
Let's say up and coming, like they're started, but they're just getting started.
Okay. I would say, don't do things for the wrong reasons. Don't do it because you just want to be like somebody else. You want to be, I want to be as popular as this person or as famous as this person because it's cool. Do it because you really love what you do. If you want to be an entrepreneur, if you want to be a singer, if you want to be a content creator, do it because it's so authentic to you and you're having fun, because you're probably going to have this career, luckily, for a long time. So you don't want to get too tired of it, because you will if you're doing something that you don't love. And for me, that's very important. And also, it's okay to be up and it's okay to be down sometimes, because you're never not always you're going to be the number one of something, but you have to be okay and you have to work on your self-esteem, because the more followers you have, the more success, the more haters are going to come. And if you are able to actually accept that, you're good. You're good to accept that you're not going to be the number one forever. It's the truth. That things change, and that you're going to get haters. That's basically my advice to you. And do things because you really love to do them. People will see that.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. How about you, Paris?
I think anyone who wants to be in this industry needs to know and understand that when you do, you're going to be putting your entire life out there. And whatever content you put out, whatever video, pictures, that is going to live with you for the rest of your life. So to really be aware of what you put out into the world. And I think it's incredible now with social media and all of these platforms, where a kid who's living like at their parents' house and they have a dream, you could make it come true just through having your phone and filming that content and making a huge business and brand out of it. But you also need to really just find your passion of what you really love to do, and then it doesn't even feel like work. I think that's what it comes down to, and really just being a good person. And I really believe in karma, and what you put out into the world is going to come back to you. And I think that's so important. And to not change. And once, if that does happen, your dream does come true. Because I've been in this industry for a very long time. I've seen so many people come and go, a lot of people. And, you maybe hear about them for 1 year, they're gone. And that's about it. So I think it's really important to always think about all that and to be appreciative of the moment and to try to sustain it and work as hard as possible and never forget where you came from. Because once it gets to your head, that's when it goes south. I just feel that's a really great piece of advice my mother gave me the night before The Simple Life aired. She told me, when this airs on Fox tomorrow, your life is going to change forever. And please, Paris, I never want you to forget who you are and the sweet, down-to-earth girl you are. Please never let this fame get to your head. And that's something I always kept true to my heart. And I never, ever let this affect me. And I still am that same girl before all this, and I have the same heart. And that's the most important, just not letting it get to your head. Oh, my earphone fell out. Back.
Yeah. No, that's great. But that's wonderful advice. We can get really wrapped up in, numbers or fame or having, this person, it can be a lot. And so it's really important to remember who we really are, because that's, at the end of the day, we're stuck with ourselves, right? And we want to know that that's someone we're proud to be and we have contact with. So I think that's really wonderful advice. Thank you both so much for being brave, sharing your stories. I know this is going to help so many people. But unfortunately, we're out of time. I would love to talk more with you both. But remember, everybody out there, thank you so much for joining. Remember to watch This is Paris on September 14th on Paris Hilton's YouTube channel. And all episodes of The Secret Life of Lele Pons are available to watch for free now on Lele's YouTube channel. So go over there and check it out.
Thank
both
you.
so
I
much.
love you, girls.
Bye.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Yes. Can't wait
Love
to see
you
you
guys.
soon. Love you.